that was a hell of a transition, wasn't it? Hello, everybody. Mr. Betcher, I thought we would have everybody on the show tonight. For those of you listening to this, hello. Thank you for joining the BrakeSec podcast audio version. This is, again, we're doing the Twitch stream stuff. I have with me, of course, Miss Berlin, Info Sister. Hello, Miss Berlin.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
So, quick question.
Yeah, sure.
I'm also this is my first Twitch stream. Other than being on other people's. So I wanted to be in the chat room. Also, I can't see us.
Oh.
Am I doing something wrong?
You can't see us on the Twitch stream thing?
Correct.
Where there might be a bit of a delay. I won't lie to you. There might be a bit of
I can hear us.
No, oh, okay. Well, then don't watch us on Twitch because the delay is going to kill you. So, I have voice meter that I use for audio, and I actually had to figure out how to make myself not echo in my earbuds or my earballs because it would be annoying.
Okay.
You can hear me through Zoom.
I can hear you through Twitch. Okay. Also,
pause the Twitch stream.
But I can't see you. How come I can hear you, but I can't see you?
You can see me on Zoom.
Well, yeah, of course I can. I just can't. Can other people see us?
Yeah, legitimately. We have 3 viewers right now. 3 whole viewers.
Okay.
And I'm fairly certain that I see Info Sister, right? I see Todd of
the video feed is black. See, it's not just me.
Uh-oh. Really?
Ha! Ha!
Oh, shit.
I'm glad somebody's listening.
Oh, gods. The audio is okay. The video feed is black.
Good thing that my face was not made for TV.
What in the hell happened? Oh, you know what? I hate Streamlabs so much. It's the audio, it's the video capture stuff.
Yeah,
It doesn't like to play nice sometimes with that. So, this is what you get when you have a live show, people.
We can teach people how to do Twitch streaming.
Oh, don't look! It's like Fortnite streams out there. There are a ton of people out there doing that stuff. I've been watching Twitch.
I watch enough Fortnite. I don't need to watch streams.
Screen capture. Let me see here.
Not that tab.
No. I was watching some YouTube channels about. There we are. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna see. This is how you know that we're public access TV show and not regular TV.
We're the AM version of InfoSec.
We suck. Well, I suck anyway.
That's okay.
Now, you know what? The thing I have about Streamlabs is it's great. The desktop version is great, but then you get the black screen deal. Thankfully, it only took me about 3 weeks to figure out how to do the horizontal scroll thing at the bottom that everybody seems to love because the regular chat windows take up a lot of space on the overlays. So, hey, 9 Miles Long, how you doing? Thank you for following us.
Hey, y'all.
BGS14, thank you for joining us.
I do like interactive chat.
Interactive chat is good.
Yeah.
Hold on. I will figure out how to make Miss Berlin an admin here.
I just have to do a really good job of not watching myself because I look horrible.
Well, turn the browser off. I don't have the Twitch stream up. I have a Twitch manager thing on my phone that tells me how many people I've got on.
Oh, but I want to talk to people.
I think you can pop that out, but yeah.
I'm
still learning things. New phone, who dis? Hey, Sidestep, what's up? That's Miss Berlin. That's Amanda Berlin. She's the most people make the joke in our Slack chat that it's Berlining down security, not breaking down security, because she's awesome and everything. So Mr. Betcher would have been here, except for
he got swallowed by a tornado.
Yeah, he's off into Kansas now or some shit, or Oz. I don't know. But yeah, I have her book actually. Lol. There you go. A look at that, Ms. Berlin. You have a fellow, defensive security fan right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Tell me what should go into the second version because we're writing it now.
Not to be a creep, right? Sidestep. You're not a creep. Everybody.
How do you know?
Yeah.
You might be. They might be a creep. You never know.
'Cause I'm a creep. Oh wait, I'm gonna get a DMCA takedown. Look, that's all the karaoke you people are getting from me. I'm not nearly that drunk, so.
I did have 2 glasses of wine, but little glasses. So.
Yep. Hello, Gondrith. Hello, Gondrith. Appreciate that. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for following. And Triplexity, thank you. So I've been telling people kind of the iterative process I've had with all the streams and stuff. And I blocked like 6,000 Twitter bots yesterday. No, Friday.
What?
And yeah, there's like Twitter bots or lurk bots or hate chat bots or something like that just join chats. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
like Zoom bombing, but in Twitch.
Yes. And I blocked all those, but I think I did too good a job. And I blocked like the Streamlabs bot, and I can't figure out how to unblock it even after I've told it to unblock. And it's like, oh, you've successfully unignored that bot. So I'm going to have to use the software that I use to block everything to unblock everyone, hopefully, and then I'll do a little better at blocking things. So that's true. Yeah. And apparently, from what I understand, the stream chat is just an IRC client, IRC chat somewhere. So Twitch stream chat is just info chat somewhere on IRC. So I did not know that when I first started it. No,
this is all tangentially InfoSec related.
Yeah. It is, it's one of these things that you're going to learn. Actually, B-Side Seattle asked me if I wanted to do a streaming village, and I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
That's when you just stay on Twitch all day. And
I have no
you're
problem.
Like, well, you're just going to follow me to the grocery store.
Yeah. Here we go.
Time to put the kids to bed.
I'm walking to the store. Hello. How about those cantaloupes? I don't know. But
that'll get you banned from Twitch.
Oh, don't worry. We're PG-17 or whatever.
Oh, good.
So
that's good.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Yeah, Mr. Betcher. Wait. What did he say here? Because my wife had told me when we were having dinner, she's like, "Oh, there was tornadoes in Austin." I was like, "Whoa, North Austin, South Austin?" She's like, "Round Rock area," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I see Mr. Betcher. He says, "I'm okay. Tornado touched down about a quarter mile from me. Lost the grid, but I have solar and batteries." And I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about us. Take care of the family. I know you can't make it." I went outside as it passed. Sounded like bending metal. There was lots of debris falling from the sky. And of course I was like, fuck. I never got that lucky to have tornadoes when I lived in Missouri or in Austin. So yeah, super weird. But yeah, so Mr. Betcher probably won't be joining us tonight. It's one of those lovely spring storms that cause a lot of issues. So yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. You're a touch on the quieter side. Who, Gondrith?
Which one of us?
Yeah, which one of us? I've been.
My mic's all the way up there.
Yeah, I'm using a different overlay this time. It was something.
Not Info sweet.
Sisters. She's coming in clear. Shit. Let's turn me up a little bit.
I can hear you okay.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I'm also trying to not scream because it's one thing. My wife, she was like, "When you're streaming, you're screaming," and I was like, "Oh, my bad." It's because that's why I uncover one ear, so I'm not screaming or whatever. But yeah, she's coming in clear. You're a touch on the quieter side. Okay, well, I'll do what I can. So Miss Berlin, it's been a labor of love trying to figure audio out here. Sometimes people tell me I'm popping or something, and we're actually streaming in 1080p.
Isn't that a dance move?
What's that?
Isn't that a dance move?
What is?
Like pop and lock?
Popping and locking? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Twerking.
Sorry.
Hold on. Twerking. Twerking. Getting low. Yeah, see. I don't know what you do to me, Ms. Berlin.
See? They know.
You bring out the crazy in me. So, none of this is going to go in the audio podcast because people will be like, Brian's lost his damn
What
mind.
in the world?
What the hell's
No, because everybody that listens to the audio podcast only wants like 20 minutes.
That's true. And that's one thing I've tried to figure out because last week me and Mr. Betcher did 2 hours and we were like, what are we going to do? Because I was like, people want a 30-minute podcast and I can't give them 4 weeks of us just talking on Twitch because, you know,
it's
so
called a lot of editing. It's a lot of editing.
I don't want to edit a lot. I don't. Well, I really don't. But yeah, I you know, I'm trying to figure that out. So, ultimately I don't know, you know, how we're going to handle that. It might be just, we put out an hour of podcast and I'll be like, if you want the other hour that we talked about other stuff, you know, you're going to have to go check out
Subscribe to Twitch.
That's right. Yeah. The podcast is always going to be free, but it's a freemium model. If you want the real good stuff, you're going to have to go to Twitch.
Yeah. We end it right at like the cliffhanger. Like,
that's right.
Yep. And this is right. There's, definitely premium content.
Now let's talk about security. And then the outro will be like, if you really want to talk about security, you'll have to go watch our Twitch. Yeah.
Like, you know how well these people can bullshit. They obviously know about a lot about security.
That's right. Yeah. So you've been out for a couple of weeks. Last Sunday was your son's birthday. You were also sleeping on a submarine. I think when we interviewed those 2 ladies, you were sleeping on a submarine. The Silver Sides is what it was called, I believe.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. Ben Johnson, who we've had on the show, on the audio podcast, his sons was on the Midway in San Diego, which is the carrier there, and they slept on the ship as well, kind of like how the Silver Sides was. They said it wasn't comfortable, so
neither was this one.
Yeah.
It's like an inch foam from World War II. Like, I don't think they ever replaced the bunks.
So let me ask you a question. I've gone into the catacombs in like France and in Paris and Paris and Rome. People in old timey days were a lot shorter than we are now. So was the bunks very similar? Were they comfortable for you? But
so I'm 5'3". I fit anywhere. I fit. It's fine. Like, I fit anywhere.
You're the people who are buying the extra legroom away from us tall people and ruining it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, of course.
You ain't right.
Like, I can fit anywhere on a plane, but I'm definitely going to pay for extra legroom.
I'm sorry, sir. I know you're 6'5", but this really, really short lady took the exit row.
Pay up, bro. Yeah, I don't know.
Got to pay extra to get in the champagne room.
It fit. There were some very tall dudes there, and they fit fine.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
It was just really cold.
Cold.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Michigan on Lake Michigan Superior. I don't know. Whatever's on that side of Michigan. I'm not on that side, so I don't know the lakes. But in late January.
Yeah.
Like, not super warm.
Hello, the mayor. How you doing? Oh, thank you, mayor, for following. Appreciate that. Everybody. Hola.
I tweeted out and got like 8 whole people.
8 whole people. Whoa, that's 8 more than I get. I can't get people like in my Twitch tweeters and stuff. So, but yeah. So yeah, thank you for coming. If you're here, if anybody is interested in joining our Discord, I have a link for that. If people want to join our Discord, it's different than our Slack because Slack sucks for Twitch. So I'm going to get that up so we can get ourselves. You could have yelled down the street to me, Amanda.
Oh, yeah. He lives near me. He used to be my mayor. He used to be my mayor.
Very nice. Okay. In case my audio is all janky, hold on. I don't know why Discord does that, but it likes to pull stuff down. So invite people. I'm going to grab me a copy of that. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out all the automation parts of the system. So, all right. So if y'all wanna join the Discord, you can. We have a chat bot. We have a roles
probably
management
should join the
bot.
Discord.
It's all good. Oh, thank you, Mayor. Appreciate your support there. He used the mayor. I don't want to use pronouns here. They used their Prime Gaming and gave us a support subscription. That's awesome. If any of you have Amazon Prime, you can use your Prime. You do have one subscription a month that you can use on us or another Twitch sub group.
I'm gonna use it on us.
Yeah, very cool. So Nlud, Nullud, Brad Proctor, thank you. Gondrith, yeah, very cool. Yeah, so yeah, come on in and say hey, and yeah, appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Mayor. You have a good night too. So yeah, Mr. Betcher is the one thing I don't miss about the Midwest is the tornadoes. So yeah, it's a rough gig living over there and like that. So stream manager, there we go. All right. Yeah. So Miss Berlin, since you've missed out on the fun of the last 36 hours that I've done of the show. So we did Sunflower Con, so the Sunday, I think the 28th, Joe Gray reached out to me and he was like, hey, I want to do something for Ukraine. And I was like, well, I hear there's a lot of people going over there to fight. And he's like, yeah, I can't do that. And I was like, yeah, I can't either. So he was like, let's do a conference. So we did Sunflower Con for 5 hours and we had a bunch of people on, a bunch of speakers. First thing I did with Twitch ever, didn't have, it's pretty much this with just a picture of people in Zoom and whatever and speaking. And we had Jake Williams, and we had like a mega panel with hacks and a bunch of folks, and it was really awesome. I think we raised a couple $1,000s for Nova Ukraine, which was great. And at that point, it was like I need to continue doing this. So we have been doing that. I've been doing a lot of Try Hack Me stuff, and
I just feel like now I have to be presentable every time I podcast.
Does
nobody really care? Nobody.
Well, I know that some I have seen on Twitter where some ladies were like, well, if I have to be on a Zoom or something where I have to show my face, I want to put on makeup and stuff. I will tell you, though.
I don't wear makeup normally.
I haven't shaved this much in a month ever, because,
I'm not shaved. I don't know if that matters.
Well, we do have strict no hair below the neckline rules here. So, no, whatever your grooming standards are, it's fine. But yeah, I have shaved, I think, probably more times this month than I have since, before the pandemic.
You look great.
Thank you. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, so it's great that we're having you on. We're hoping that will be a constant thing. I know that when I stream is not friendly for you, which is one reason why we did it at our normal 6:30 p.m. time.
Right.
One, because your spawn have gone to bed. I didn't want to call them. Yeah.
They better have.
Yep. Oh, they're apparently Houston's getting tornadoes too. It's so boring. The weather's so boring here in Seattle. We're actually talking about weather in other countries and cities. So, yeah, thunderstorms in Houston. Oof. Okay. Yeah, that's not fun. So,
yikes.
So Miss Berlin knows a little bit about defense. She works for a company that has sponsored our podcast, and if I can be completely blunt, I hope that they'll sponsor us here on this Twitch stream and give us more opportunities to continue doing content.
I hope so.
Yeah. One of the reasons I started the stream was to reach a different audience. There are InfoSec Twitch people, apparently. There's like 40, 50 different Twitch streams on here just for InfoSec stuff. Yes.
I know 3 of them, but they're not very InfoSec. They're tangent. They're like just... Well, I don't... kind of related.
Well, yeah, I know of RallySec, but there are at least, I'm on a Slack now or a Discord where there's a list of these folks. And I think I posted them up into to the Slack, BrakeSec Slack chat. But yeah, they come in, they do stuff. There's some makers on here showing how to, do soldering. There's a lot of folks that are just hacking on PowerShell. There's, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, it's kind of a.
I feel like sometimes I could just like Twitch stream what I'm doing every day. Just like, oh, look at these insane logs. This is ridiculous.
See, I wouldn't hate on that actually. And one of the things I wanted to do was to see if you were amenable to having more content like this. Before we had started the stream, there was some lunch and learns that were mentioned, and really. Queenza sent me a friend request. Oh, good, Queenza. Yeah, I'll be friends with Queenza. Queen, we met Queen on Black Girls Hack Slack. So
nice.
My mentee is AJ on there. Hey, Queen, what up? Dirty Bits, thank you for following. I appreciate that. Thank you everybody for coming along here. But yeah, so we have you've got a lot of content and a lot about defense, and we're going to be picking your brain about various things coming up, in addition to just maybe getting some people on who can join us.
Sure.
But one of the things and the reason we were going to do this tonight was we were going to talk about some log analysis, some of the things that we came up with during our Try Hack Me. I had made mention that, doing things like brute force attacks and other things, if your logs are set up correctly, is usually very noisy, especially if you're doing things like trying to fuzz a web app or something like that. Those are not things where you're trying to be sneaky. That's like, I'm just throwing shit up against the wall and seeing if it sticks, that kind of thing.
Right.
And if configured properly, your SOC or your MSP or your SaaS logging appliance thing should catch that and notice those things are happening, and help make decisions accordingly. When you are staring at logs all day, I mean, what are the kind of things you're seeing that you go, oh yeah, I know what that is. Oh yeah, I know what that is. Oh, that's new. Let's go look at that. I mean, what does it look like from a log analysis point of view? What's the first thing you look at when you look at a brand new log?
Oh, that's a long answer. So I actually really want to write something about this. And so Atlassian has a decent short article about how they craft their detections.
Okay.
Right. It's like their detection framework.
Okay.
I would love to write an incident detection engineering framework on how we prioritize what detections to create and why. Because there's a bunch of different kinds, right? Like if you're talking, for example, the one integration we're working on right now is SentinelOne. Mm-hmm. And a whole lot of customers ask for it, right? Because SentinelOne is a fantastic product. Like we have our own partnership agreement with them. We have logged in, we've detonated stuff, we've gotten custom alerts to fire, we've created an integration, we're doing all this kind of stuff. But in the end, SentinelOne's the endpoint detection agent, right? Mm-hmm. You're not relying on really raw logs to do it. They're doing their own analysis and they're just passing the logs through to you as a SIM, and then you're deciding what to do with it. So when those things happen, so that's anything from Carbon Black to CrowdStrike to Cylance, Windows Defender, SentinelOne, all of those things that are endpoint agents that are configured at the customer end, at least for us, right? Since we're doing SaaS stuff. One, you have to rely on how well it's configured at the customer end.
Right.
Because that takes a certain amount of configuration. When we first started, we're we're going to implement all of these awesome Carbon Black detections, because at the time we were the ones managing, because we were the MSSP for all of the customers that were going to switch over to Blue Mara. So we knew how all of their environments were configured. So we were able to craft detections. And then we started getting customers coming on that had like almost zero configuration. And those alerts were terrible.
Right.
Because you have to rely on that customer's like configuration of whatever that product was. So that's one type, right? Where you're you're bringing in those detections to do the whole, like they call it like single pane of glass, right? Where you have everything coming into a SIM because like you can't send your firewall logs to Sentinel-1.
Right.
So that's one type of detection, is just, I say they're just regurgitated like other product things, right? Where you're not really applying a whole lot of intelligence to it. Correct. Sure, we like add like threat intel stuff or like some automation or whatever to those kind of detections, but still it's not like raw Windows logs or raw firewall logs. So that's like a product detection. Or you have like raw like threat detections, which are log4j, right?
Right.
You know what you need to look for in a firewall log or in like the web server log or whatever to detect that, but that's like completely crafted by you. You have to like test that detection out. And there's how many, like not just log4j, but like a whole bunch of different like attacks, right? Whole bunch of different ways to run an attack, right? And you kind of have to try and account for all of those. And make sure that there's like not a crazy amount of false positives. So like one example I use, so 7 Minute Security is another podcast, and I was talking to their host the other day or earlier today, and we were talking about Mimikatz and like how that's like, if you detect on Mimikatz, that's kind of like a finishing move. Like you should have detected a crap ton of stuff before Mimikatz was run. And everybody's like, oh yay, we detected Mimikatz, which is great, but like you're still at the end. That's the end game.
Right.
I mean, somebody's not going to just run Mimikatz from the internet. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens before then. But there's like some legitimate tools that use pass the hash behind the scenes that people pay for. Like you can go and buy a tool to like manage your Active Directory or do some automation because you're an MSP and it's doing pass the hash behind the scenes and you never knew until you started detecting on it. So you have to account for those kind of things when you do threat detection stuff, right? Even if it's what we would say, the word I'm thinking of, like high certainties, right? Like you definitely want to get woken up in the middle of the night if Mimikatz is run.
High level of confidence.
Right. Yeah, except when it's run and it happens to be the tool you just rolled out.
Yeah. Or, it's your red team who are, just futzing around at 2 a.m. because they don't have anything better to do.
Sure. So those are like two main kind of detections that we look into writing. And just like the whole mindset behind that and why we would prioritize different kinds. Like, I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. I'd like to thank Triplexity. I think Triplexity is the first person to actually give us bits at all ever.
What's a bit? I mean, I know what a bit is, but
a bit is, it's like currency, kind of like Twitch bits. It's another way that you can show support, and you get to do things like, if you were to go in, there's things you can do, like there may be custom emotes, like sound effects that could go over the sounds. You can
trade them in for crypto.
You can no. Sorry. I'm stuck in a loop here. So They have you can do things like get custom emotes. You can make comments. You can throw things up on the stream. I've seen them on some Twitch streams where it's like, you can make sound effects or something happen. Like Kiara Please, one of the ones that I follow. You get certain things. I'm still working some of those out, but I've created some emotes and other things that are available for people who are giving out. How many bits to ring the shame bell for saying crypto?
I don't have a bell here.
It'll be 100,000 Twitch bits for ringing the shame bell.
Yes, excellent. I don't have a shame bell or a bell in general.
I
have a giant metal spear.
I have a metal. That's not it. Sorry, I feel like a Foley artist or something in the old timey days where it's like, they're stomping on wood, to make it sound like somebody's walking upstairs or something like that. Thank you for all the followers, dat Banjan dude or whatever. So we're talking about high levels of confidence. You don't want false positives. If you want a high level of the ability for folks to act on those logs with confidence that they're not wasting their time, efforts, resources, finding potentially things that aren't useful or actionable in this case. Hello, Binary Rip. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Binary Rip's been here, I think, since the beginning, so it's very nice. Thank you to all of the new first-time followers. So, I mean, I think the biggest issue is, and I read a story about this. Unfortunately, it's on my work computer, and I'm going to have to boot that up and get my history here. But they were talking about how some log file systems are just not friendly to analysis. And
I mean,
let me see.
Yeah, I could probably name and shame. I'm not on my company's webcast right now.
Oh yeah, the disclaimer at the top on the something about the thoughts, theories, and opinions we express are not our employer's past, present, or future. So
I have it in my employee agreement that I can talk about whatever I want, but in regards to BrakeSec, so there's some really crappy well, I think there's really decent products out there that have really crappy logging. How about that?
There you go. Yeah.
So, Firepower.
Oh, yeah?
Cisco Firepower. Crappiest logs I've ever seen. Maybe not ever seen, but as far as a next-gen firewall, gives you little to nothing.
Really?
In logs. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is it because it's not configured default to do so? Or is it the logging format is just different? Or, I mean,
they just give you nothing. Like total characters is like under 50 for every log generated.
Well, like if you look at like be a sponsor, so
whatever. So if you look at like Palo Alto or Fortinet, or I think those are probably the two best in logging capabilities, anyways. Yeah. Will automatically generate types of logs based on what they send. So like we have like Palo Alto threat, Palo Alto traffic, Palo Alto email filter, Palo Alto this, that. Like there's like 10 to 12 to 15 types of data that come out of those firewalls. Mm-hmm. And they all have decent information, right? It'll tell you source destination, IP port, like if there's a URL, if there's a URL path, if there is a user associated, if there's a vulnerability associated, if it's blocked or not, like all of the things you would normally associate with a firewall would be in those logs. Firepower has nothing. They're like, this happened.
So what do you tell a customer if they go, hey, we have a Firepower firewall. Okay, sorry, we can't work with you because your kit is trash.
We still work with it. We just can only work with the data given, right? So I created, it's the integration maturity matrix that our like technical account managers and our sales engineers can use.
Right.
That shows how mature we are with each integration. So it breaks it down in between like the integration. So we have different kinds of integration. Some of them require like a box on-prem to like ingest logs. Others are just cloud connectors where you don't have to have anything on-prem. So that's a mature integration. And then there's parsing maturity, which is like we've been through several integrations of parsing, and we have it for all of these different kinds of software levels and all of these different APIs. We have all of them. So like that's a high maturity level. And then others, it's like, we've been through this once. There is a parser for it, but it's like, there's still some stuff that aren't mapped correctly. And then there's detection, which is like, currently our Microsoft 365 is fairly high maturity because we've been through all of the Microsoft 365 detections, like logs, to create the best detections we can, and like also done additional threat research, right, to figure out like how you can break into 365. So that would be a high, but then there's lows, which is like we have nothing, which that would be firepower, because we can't barely like, if you don't tell us like what the traffic's actually doing, we can't detect anything.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think here. Is it because some vendors want you to buy into their ecosystem of monitoring and they don't want you to employ a third party? I mean, is it because the Cisco NG firewall speaks Cisco, and Cisco's like, oh, I can translate that for you over here for another $100,000 a year, or
terrible business model.
Apparently it's working.
I mean, it's Cisco. Of course it's going to work.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they have good products. Like, I can't say they don't have good products. Like, I hear that Firepower is a good product. It's just, as far as logging goes, it is terrible.
Yeah, that's really odd. I don't know what would be the impetus for a company to not want to give telemetry that would potentially, stop bad guys attacking. What's this? Verbose logs is an extra subscription fee. You know what? We've talked about the E5 licenses and stuff for that. So yeah. I think they fixed that though. I think Microsoft got better and doesn't necessarily require an E5 license. I could be wrong, but
I don't know. I've not heard any different.
Okay. Well, it is what it is.
I would love to have just like somebody that's written Microsoft licensing to come on. Like, who at Microsoft will come talk about licensing?
Oh yeah, no, they won't. Yeah, no, I bet they won't.
It's a super secret sauce.
We can't. Miss Berlin will be mean to us.
Yeah.
Can't go.
Totally will. I've had so many different 365 tenants up, and I still have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Yep. Triplexity says, imagine Microsoft not having an NDA for something. Yeah.
No, it would be super entertaining, just me screaming at a Microsoft engineer. We could probably just call up their support and do the same thing.
I don't want to get banned by them. I still might want to work for them one day. Sidestep
you need to come to the startup life, man.
Sidestep says, I will not be attending that stream. Sidestep, did you OPSEC yourself? OPSEC fail? Tell me how you work for Microsoft without telling me you work for Microsoft.
Oh.
Busted. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I can't find that post. I actually had a good, I'm looking at my review today from my boss and my boss. So I've got 5 bosses, Bob.
Well, at one time I had 3, but now I'm down to 2.
Oh, that's good. It's the little things, not having 5 bosses.
Like, we're like, I don't know, like I feel like our little group we're like the special kids.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that? Is it because you have a unique set of skills and?
Yeah. So like we're under engineering. But all of engineering are developers other than us.
Okay.
So like I kind of also report to the CTO because he's really, really good at security. But then I also directly report to the head of engineering.
Right.
Because that's really my boss. But he doesn't really know anything about security.
Right. Do you ever see a conflict there where it's like, you feel like you can't tell the director of engineering no because he's your boss?
Because he's Canadian.
I don't understand what that means.
He's really super nice.
You just say it with poutine? Is that what it is? You just give him some poutine?
Yeah. No, he's just really kind and like follows, like, I don't know. He always makes good choices.
He's not on the stream. You're not.
No, I know he's not. He'll never watch this. I guarantee you, he'll never watch this.
He'll never.
He's super nice. Like he's always very thoughtful of his like comments. He will wait and think before speaking, which I have a big problem with myself sometimes.
Is he Quebecois or is he like English speaking?
English speaking.
Okay, because I've been to Canada. I've been to both sides of Canada. The closer you get to Quebec, and Quebec in that area, you're just trying to kill the stream. But
no,
Well, no, the closer you get to Quebec, they teach French and then English. If you go to Vancouver in British Columbia, they teach English then French. So it's like, and in America they teach Merkin, I guess. I don't know.
Nothing.
But sidestep. I apologize. I didn't mean to out you there. But my wife works for Microsoft. She has for about 8 years. It's a great company, and hell, they helped pay for our house here. And I know a lot of people who work there because, I'm up here in Seattle. So, I don't
know if I'd ever want to work for a company that big.
You're not really working for the whole company. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Okay.
The biggest company I've ever worked for had like 2,500 employees.
Wow. Okay. I worked for the Navy, which
not counting like Tractor Supply, which like I worked for like a local or Walmart. Like that doesn't count.
Okay, so all right, let's continue using that analogy. You worked for Walmart, but not big Walmart. You worked for that Walmart there. When you work at Microsoft, you work in this little group. You don't necessarily work for all of Microsoft.
Okay.
So
right.
Ideally, people are like, oh, we should be communicating across teams and stuff. And sometimes you need to know and talk to other groups, but you are pretty insulated. Like I have moved from one department of my company to another, and the culture's different. They do entirely different things. I'm doing product security now and not pen test and vendor management. And so the skill set is different, and I'm in an entirely different group, but I still work with some of those folks over in my old group more than once in a while. So, it is a thing. I mean, you don't work for the whole Microsoft.
I really like just being able to talk to the CEO.
I have talked to the CEO because I work for a subsidiary now of the company I used to work for. They acquired this company. So I have talked to the CEO of our division of our company.
Where you currently work?
Yeah.
Like, okay, just the division though, not like.
Well, he's the president. He's the president of the company that was acquired by the company I used to work for. Yeah. Okay. Technically, I'm only about 3 levels below him, and it's like, oh yeah, you can email him. And I'm like, that's not how things are done. You're supposed to go. There's a process, man.
There's not. Do you not have skip levels?
I do have skip levels.
It's the same thing.
Let me see. How does it work now?
That's the same thing. Sending an email to a CEO is just like a really big skip level.
4 or 5. Okay. Yeah. I'm only like 3 levels organizationally down from him. So, I mean, we only have about 2,500 people in our company, but yeah, it's a completely different vibe. Daddy always says no. Mommy always says yes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
See, we need like non sequitur things. It's like somebody will be talking all serious and everything, and I'll be like, Daddy always says no, but Mommy always says yes. And it's like,
is that what an emote is? Can we just like record that?
oh, you can do audio emotes. I would have to pull those out of the audio stream, which wouldn't be difficult. I've been making emojis and stuff. I'll tell you how I make emojis.
Oh gosh.
I go to webemojis.com and just pull those down and then change the colors. Twitch hasn't noticed.
Oh, nice.
But they're free. So there's the graphical representations of the emojis. So, I mean, they're public. I don't think there's a copyright or anything on them. Yeah. So
there's not a copyright on anything until you get caught.
That's right. That's right. And I love all of our streaming fans who are in the chat with us right now to not report us. No, I'm just kidding.
Shit,
yeah. We got emoji chat going on. Oh, this is awesome. See, it's an entirely different show when Miss Berlin joins us. I don't know.
I know.
Maybe I don't know what's going on. Don't go back and watch the first stream though. If you ever watched the first video I ever posted on here, it's like I'm sitting here. I'm like, we're very cool.
I mean, honestly, I could probably rant by myself for a while.
We don't have to rant. I mean, I think what you're doing is probably some of the most complicated stuff you have to deal with, because you're taking what amounts to signals intelligence that you get from your customers, and you have to analyze that for finding things. I mean, in the intelligence community, that is very similar to, finding threats, IOCs, and breaking those down to find out if they're credible or not. So,
sure.
But yeah, I mean,
it's fun work.
Is it fun? I mean, it's
a sweet gig. Like, I don't have to talk to customers. I'm not on call.
Right.
I'm leading the charge on what's important as far as what detections we create next.
Okay.
So I kind of just get to, like, we work in sprints. So our sprints align with engineering. So we have 2-week sprints at a time. And we work on our sprint stuff. And that's it. Like, we're only bound by our own stress level. Like, we don't have, like, sure, if there's an O day that comes out, like, we try and hurry up and get that done as far as a detection. Or if a customer gets breached, like, we try and get them as much of information as fast as possible. But other than that, like, it's chill. We're like, oh, we're going to work on this handful of things out of Atomic Red Team today.
Right. Okay.
And we just do it. Like, it's really chill. Super fun.
Right.
You get to, like, play in the lab, detonate some malware, run some tests, and you look at the logs.
Right. Speaking of malware, I had found this. Somebody had posted up a GitHub page for malware samples, analysis exercise, and other interesting resources. So I put a link in the chat window for that. I swear, if you go to that site, there are real malware samples on that site. So if you just blindly double click or do anything on that site, you will pwn yourself. So be careful and know what you're doing before you. It's like, giving somebody a loaded weapon and don't ask them to turn it on themselves. But there's a ton of stuff in here. I found this. I was going to go over some of this with Mr. Betcher, but yeah, there's maldoc templates. There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, here's a fork. Don't stick in the electrical outlet. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that link is some of the weirdest looking stuff I've ever seen. But so all right, Miss Berlin, you told us about analyzing malware. Do you ever have how does updating your IOCs look like? Let's say you use this link. Hey Brian, cool, this is great. I'm looking at some of the stuff from December where Loki's on here. Do you ever use sites like this to update your log IOCs, or how do you handle different flavors of IOC, or like different variants of, say, a Loki or a Hansett or a CACbot or something like that? Do you actually, do you do like the EDR companies where you have like classifications like, Lumpy Panda or, ED Bear or something like that?
So we do our best to tie to MITRE and look at more behavioral based things. Right. So if there's like specific IOCs that we need to put in there, like this file or this path or this IP address or anything like that, those usually go in the threat feed. And we have just constant searches for those IOCs across logs.
Right.
But above and beyond that, it's like, oh, well, this file gets dropped in this specific location, but then it like dumps the hashes or it runs this and it modifies a piece of the registry that shouldn't be modified. Like we'll look at that. Oh, this piece of the registry should never be modified no matter what's modifying it. We'll look at that instead. So it's more a behavioral based thing. Like those behaviors should not happen, not necessarily a specific IOC.
Okay. Trying to pop something in the chat. Yeah, I found the log about, let me see. So it says, it's not you, Windows security logs don't make sense. Windows logs designed to track the execution of application, regardless of whether this facilitates cyber investigations or not. And I said, it starts out talking about,
Where are you reading that at?
So I'm reading this. All right, damn it. I have to start up Slack on my box. One of the things is it's like my laptop sounds like a damn jet engine whenever I'm using Streamlabs. So I have to turn on performance mode and other stuff. And I have to turn off Slack and Discord and all this stuff because, it's awful. So
the problem is I have two laptops. So like when I try to do like stuff,
right,
other stuff, it's over here instead of like.
There you go.
So I have to oh, there we go. Oh, it's a medium.
All right. Yeah, medium.
No,
it's a fairly
terrible.
Yeah. So it's like an account was successfully logged on. It's like Windows events have a subject target pattern to many events. This makes sense for events like 4720 account created or 4656 a handle to an object was requested. But the event in event ID 4624 is actually the computer, not the user, which is an account was successfully logged on. So it doesn't make any delineation about whether or not it's the user that logged on or if the computer's using a service account that it's using to, process or do what have you.
You know who this sucks for?
Who's that?
The people that write our parsers.
Really?
Yeah, because like currently we have one person. Her name's Anna, and she's amazing because no one wants to do parser work, but she likes it.
Right.
So when we started, like, how many Windows event IDs are there? Thousands, right?
Thousands.
She starts parsing them, like gets through the first couple dozen. And we're like, this is really weird because like I ran this test and what you're categorizing as the user is definitely the computer name. That's because it's like subject computer account or what is it? Subject computer account, subject domain account. I don't know. There's like a bunch of really long, complicated XML that ends up being in a Windows Event ID. And sometimes it's the computer, sometimes it's a user, sometimes it's a service account, sometimes it's an admin account, sometimes it's a local account. And it is super frustrating because you have to map those to what they belong to know. And it's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah. The thing is though, Windows knows what it's talking about. It's you having to analyze, is this a user, like you said, a service?
That's why Defender's so good.
How come? Why is that?
Because they know, like, that's their product. They know how Windows works.
Yeah.
And they have the source code.
Oh, right.
Like,
right.
They can do things that other products cannot do.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes for a difficult time because if you're not fully in that environment, I mean, you're the third party coming in. Oh,
Sorry.
you got
Late
me,
here.
damn it. See, I'm not a
Dude.
psychopath, so I sympathize. So
I went to the Tool concert last night.
Okay.
I'm very tired. It was amazing.
How was it? Was?
Yeah, it was really good. So the opening band really sucked.
What was that band?
The Acid Helps.
The Acid Helps.
Yeah.
Is it the Acid Helps or is it Acid Helps?
I think it's the Acid Helps.
Okay.
Real bad. Like garage band dude just like wailing on the cymbals.
Needs more
90% of the time. They had one good song. And it was really weird. So they had 4 or 5 guys on the stage. And this is at Quicken Loans Arena.
Okay.
Which is in downtown Cleveland. And huge. It's where the Cavs play. So big stadium.
Right.
And they have this huge screen up behind them. And it has their band name on it. And the guys are playing in front of it. But the only video they have projecting is on like a 40-inch TV screen behind the drummer.
Oh, wow.
And like their name is 50, 60 feet high.
Right.
But then they just have like a little TV. It was really weird.
Well, it fits with the garage band thing, right? So
it was bad.
Oh, that's too bad.
But Tool was amazing.
Yeah? Did you get down in the... Is mosh pit still a thing?
You weren't allowed to mosh there.
Oh, okay.
But like, we had a clubhouse suite thing.
Oh,
just
fancy.
Like a dozen people.
So you weren't down there in Gen Pop with everyone else on the floor.
We were looking down on the peasants.
Oh, that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like down there? And yes,
as we throw like our extra chicken wings, like.
Oh. Oh no, you did not.
No.
Okay, good. All right. Woo.
That'd be hilarious, but I wouldn't do that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't go to concerts. Well, okay, I haven't gone to a concert in a while. I think we saw here at the Tacoma Dome, Fleetwood Mac was here.
Ooh.
Which my wife is a big fan of, but unfortunately she couldn't go because she had to go to school. So me and my daughter got like pretty much on the side of the stage kind of thing for Fleetwood Mac, and that was pretty good. I love Stevie Nicks. I celebrate his entire catalog. So,
nice.
That joke doesn't get old. Trust me. Yeah. My wife still hates me every time I say that. She's like, God damn it. Yeah.
No, we watched, let's see here. This last fall, we went and saw Breaking Benjamin and Papa Roach.
Man, those are some throwbacks, ain't they?
Right? There's a mosh pit there, but way less people. Less people. And then,
well, you break a hip if you get in the mosh pit. How am I getting the mosh pit?
That's not for me. And then we're gonna go watch. Have you ever heard of AJR?
AJR, no.
Okay, that's like a pop. I don't think they're pop. I don't know. I have a hard time like classifying music. 3
white dudes with a man bun. Okay, that's all I need to know. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But it's my middle son's favorite band, so we're gonna go watch them in June.
Okay. I may have heard their music.
I'm sure you've heard a couple of them.
Okay.
They have like a duo with Christina Aguilera, and I don't know some other.
Oh, is that "Say Something I'm Giving Up on You" or something?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I've heard that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad rendition. So yeah, I don't hate that.
They're pretty good.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd break a hip or something if I was in the mosh pit. So I'm a lover, not a fighter. So
I'd love to see Blink-182. I loved watching. remember the name of them. The one that was a derby.
Oh hell, I didn't go and see any musical groups while I was there.
What?
The only one I didn't. No, I didn't want to be in there. Loud music and stuff. I mean, Mike. Was it not Tubular Bells? Oldenfeld, Oakenfold.
Isn't
Paul
that an
Oakenfold.
old dude?
No.
That's an old guy, isn't it?
I forget his name. Oakenshield? No, that's a dwarf.
What's a dwarf?
Oakenshield. It's not Oakenshield. I'm sure it's Paul Oakenfold, right? EDM, very.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Oakenfield.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So
Offspring.
Oakenfield.
Offspring. When I watched Offspring. Wow. They were really good.
Right. Okay.
That was the one I was on stage in front of.
Everyone goes to Cleveland to do their musics and stuff. So, yeah. There's not much of a music scene here in Seattle. We don't have much in the way of music.
You have folk music.
Well, we used to be cool, and then kombucha came out and ruined it for everybody. So, and man buns. So
fantastic.
Yeah, Paul Oakenfold. Yeah, that's what it is. So, yeah, that was the only one that I would have seen at DerbyCon. I don't watch. Queen. Sorry, Queen. I didn't mean to get you there. Yeah, no. I have heard great things about KEXP terrestrial radio, but I have stopped listening to terrestrial radio. If it isn't lo-fi chill, I'm pretty much, in on that. And of course, I still listen to the grunge stuff, Nirvana, Temple of the Dog and all that. Yeah. When I was concerts as a kid, but then I turned 18 and became poor. Oh, yeah.
I only went to country concerts when I was younger.
Yeah, see, I didn't know
that. Fun fact, I didn't know there's anything other than country music until I got into 9th or 10th grade. Oh, I thought that was music. I didn't think country, there was anything else.
We have both kinds, country and Western. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in the Midwest, so yeah, it was, we were all indoctrinated by, rock music is all about drugs and stuff, and drugs are bad. Okay. So yeah, you want to. But
I signed the pledge.
Yeah, no shit with the DARE program stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah.
It just taught you what all the cool street names were.
That's right. Yep. But yeah, I listened to my rebellious age was listening to Nirvana and Metallica. So,
I'm about to blow my nose on the stream. I'm going to turn off my audio real quick.
Okay. Oh, that's one of those poor man's PTZ cameras. Except all she's doing is just, moving her camera. I looked at those PTZ cameras that streamers have, like high rollers and stuff. I'm not paying $4,000 for a camera just so it goes, You're still muted, by the way.
So now I can move my laptop just fine.
There you go. Yeah.
I did get a nice HD camera though.
I've upgraded mine. I almost threw away my SLR, my mirrorless SLR. I have a Canon T2i, and last ditch effort, I went and looked online to see if maybe I could use it as a webcam, and Canon actually has a webcam driver that you can use, and you plug it in and you can use your DSLR for, so I'm using like the 1855 lens, and I can zoom in and zoom out, and I have
You have a T2i and it does that?
Yeah. I'm using it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it as a webcam. It's pretty badass. And all you need to do is go to Amazon and buy like a $20 AC plug-in that will also go up in and act as a battery adapter, so you don't have to burn up your batteries to do long-term stuff. So I bought like a $26 adapter for that, and works a treat. So, yeah.
Huh.
I even have a wide angle lens for it if I wanted to use like a wide angle lens that would get like, Yeah, I got a telephoto lens, and I have this wide angle fisheye lens type thing. So, yeah. I've been totally geeking out on this stuff, so I'll probably never make money on these streams because I've spent way too much money. I'm an idiot. I'm the guy who goes and buys a $5,000 set of golf clubs, and I golf once. So, you know, if I didn't do a weekly audio podcast, this would have been a complete waste of money. But yeah, so yeah. Hey, Pastry Death.
For the podcast?
No, actually, I don't. All this stuff is out of my own pocket, so I'm not even doing it right. You know, it's like, oh, I should be sending receipts to the IEF and going, oh, this is for the podcast.
You should be.
Yeah, no, I'm not. So, no, I'm a bad person because I don't run our nonprofit properly. I just give the money and I don't take any money back. So
you should, and then you can give it and actually get a receipt and claim it.
Well, I have given 3 subs on here, so I've given a charitable donation.
Please claim that on your taxes.
I should, but you know, I don't do it right. So, yeah. Yeah. By the way, I guess we could if you give enough money to us here. Technically, all of this money goes to our nonprofit, the InfoSec Education Foundation. So if you give us enough money that it's worth a tax deduction, we'll have to figure it out. But
I can give you our form. You can just it's not too bad.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Part of it will be on you to give me accurate records, but yeah, I don't know how we'll figure it out with all this stuff. To be honest, I don't know how we keep records. They keep records by when people donated for what. But yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I don't care about polo. Yeah, I loved DerbyCon, but I just did not get into any of the music stuff. Didn't they have Deadmau5 there or something like at one time?
Yeah, they were okay.
The dude wearing the big ass hat thing with the lights in it.
I don't remember.
No, not Danger Mouse. Was it Danger Mouse?
I want to say Modest Mouse, but that wasn't right.
No,
I'd love to see Modest Mouse.
That's Modest Yahoo. That's not Modest. Wait, so Pastry Death. Wait a second. I have an idea. Y'all should do a reality TV show where you lock me in a house and train me to be the world's best hacker.
Well,
wait. If we lock you in the house and train you to be the world's best hacker, are you going to be able to do it before you starve to death? I guess I'm not making. Yeah, I guess we'll unlock the door and actually feed and give the person water. But
hold on, let me call Mitnick. I think you'd have to take that.
Oh.
Title away from him.
Or Jonathan Data or whatever the hell his name is on Twitter. Oh my God, that guy. Jonathan Data. Oh my goodness. You don't know who this is?
No.
Wow. I thought you were all in on all the drama.
Investigator guy?
Yeah.
Is it the guy that blocked me a while ago?
He probably did. But yeah, he's just doubling down on the craziness. Jonathan Data. Jonathan Scott. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, he's something. I'll tell you what. Think. I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna pop that into our Zoom chat. Because I don't want to publicly name and shame that Jonathan person necessarily. Scott. He's a big fan of blocking people and pretty much saying he's world's best hackers.
Oh, he's not blocked me yet. I have more followers than he does. He can't be that great.
Yeah, he thinks he's the guy who's going to hack Twitter and find people's locations. Yeah, Pastry Death, you're absolutely right.
Okay. Cool.
People don't ever block InfoSister on purpose.
I beg to differ.
Yeah. So some people actually know who we're talking about here, so that's interesting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is great. Shit talking 101 with Brian and Amanda.
Yeah.
Who else do we want to go after?
First and last stream we have with Brian and Ms. Berlin, because Brian's going to get blacklisted or whatever.
I can I'll just like publicly list my block list of people. Like, these are the people you want to stay away from because they're all mean.
These are the assholes in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Anyway, so I posted, there was a link that I had posted in our Discord today about how iframes are now, again, the new hotness because they make phishing nearly invisible because they're not calling
it browser thing.
Yeah, they're calling it the browser in browser attack, where you pretty much create an iframe that's specially modified and doesn't have like a border, and it looks like a nice pop-up of an authentication screen and what have you. And they said, before you go clicking on a page, always check the URL and whatever. And they're saying, well, now there's one more way to get around that. And they've found out that using single sign-on options embedded in websites. Researcher used Canva as an example. Login window for Canva is shown. Pop-up asks users to authenticate via their Google account. But the problem is, it looks like a legitimate pop-up box that you can move around, and it's been carefully formatted to look like a Windows, login box and whatever. And you can move it around with your mouse, and it looks legit. Pastry, according to the OWASP top 10 for 2021, I believe injection is number 4 now. I think we saw yesterday when Queen and AJ and I were online. OWASP top 10. Yeah, 2021. They've consolidated them. I think we were talking about that. No, injection is number 3 of 10. Number 1 is broken access control. Now, whether it's still the most used exploit, yeah, it could very well be. I mean, SQL injection, or I would say, yeah. I mean, yeah, and they've collapsed a lot of things together between 2017, 2021. But yeah, I mean, in terms of ease of use, I mean, there's so many other ways you can do injection these days. There's NoSQL and just regular SQL stuff, but.
Well, I need to go to bed.
You need to go to bed? How old are you?
Like 4 hours of sleep last night.
Is that it? Well, you know what? Somebody had to go to a Tool concert last night, didn't they? They just had to go to a Tool concert.
I was officially arm candy. I couldn't not go.
See, it's just the opposite for me. I'm the trophy husband, so my wife's the real talent here. I just, I'm just the pretty thing, that the PYT that hangs on her arm. So
it's a hard job. Somebody's got to do it.
I know, right? Any thoughts on the announcement of Cyber Incoming Day? I don't know what that is, Todd. Miss Berlin, if you need to drop off, feel free to do so. We can.
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to fall asleep.
Okay.
Tell me what Cyber Incoming is later.
Okay, well, before you leave, tell people how they can find you online if they don't already, and that way we'll have it for the audio podcast.
Obviously, on this Twitch stream.
Exactly.
Now, when I become admin,
I will make you a moderator. I will make you a moderator, and we'll get you set up with Streamlabs and some things, and show you how to make some overlays and stuff. So.
And Discord when I get on there.
Yeah.
I'm not on there yet.
Okay.
And then. Twitter at InfoSister.
Right. And of course, Hackers Health, which
no blocking.
I'm going to be.
Or you can block me. It's fine. You'll miss out on some quality content.
That's right. That's some quality shit posting right there. So, here's our link to our Discord again, just in case some of the newcomers didn't catch it. We do have a moderator, moderation bots, and a code of conduct for everybody. So that's available. And yeah, okay. Well, go ahead and take off, Ms. Berlin. Have a good night.
Those of us on the East Coast are tired.
Yeah. I mean, it is almost 11 o'clock your time. So but.
Alrighty.
All right. Good night.
See y'all later.
Okay. Have a good one.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, it's just me. like I said, before we started the stream, Mr. Betcher's, dealing with tornadoes and all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, cool. Yeah. So pastry apparently doesn't like the word degenerate. That's weird. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I'll just let that go. I've never actually seen the auto mod work, so that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I found it quite interesting. It's the auto mod. Yeah. My frame rate may go to crap here for a second, but I'm going to be trying to pull up a browser window here. Oh yeah, it goes to pot real quick, don't it? So yeah, they the malicious pop-up that they've got, just uses an iframe that's specially formatted to hook things up. Yeah, Gondrith, I think you're right. Automod isn't perfect, but it stops the hate raids and it stops the chat bots and everything. So yeah, it's one of those necessary evils, unfortunately. So let me see. Yeah, all the more reason for MFA. They're talking about. Let's see if I can. There we go. Back it up here. Right. Well, Gondrith, like you said there, everything requires tuning. You can't. We talked about that with IDS and IPS stuff as well. It's like if you don't tune it up, it's going to just use whatever rule sets that it knows, and there's a lot of things. Yeah, Triplexity. I've seen MFA attacks where people just keep spamming Okta or the system, and the user finally will get tired of that and just say allow, which is unfortunate. But all it just needs to do is work. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you just keep spamming somebody with 2FA requests, most likely they've seen that multiple times before, and they're like, oh, God damn it. Okay, great. Fine. I'll just do this. I'm looking forward to seeing that too, Gondrith, about the or BEC attacks or spear phishing. Yeah, I can definitely see these things being used. Click on a link and it takes you to a VPN page that looks somewhat legit, and then it's like, oh well, we have OAuth. Here's our username and password. So now, okay, so Triplexity, emailing users to ask for their codes. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't know if that's poor communication, but I mean, that should be something, I don't know, weekly that people should be reminded of. We're never going to ask you for those codes. You shouldn't be giving those codes out. They're even more, it's almost like don't share your password is the new, don't share your 2FA codes or something like that. But yeah, it's a little rough. So. Okay, so let me see if I can shrink down my screen here. And all right, I'm going to add a browser. There we go. Oh man, look at that. Boom. I'm almost getting the hang of this. Right on. So yeah, they say, so it's interesting why they call it browser and browser attack. I mean, these are called iframes. We were using them for years for, to be cool and have, fancy menu systems and what have you. If only Iron Scales picked it up. Triplexity, what's Iron Scales? I was gonna pull up some more audio, some more stuff. Oh, yeah. I wonder if they have any updates for this. Yes, pastry. I think some of that is some fancy CSS to get rid of like borders. They skin them to make them look like Windows UIs. So you go back here to the screen. Let me see here. Here's the example that they show. I think they're going to show you. So this is the browser and browser attack, And, it looks a lot like the login script or whatever here. So, yeah, I mean, that's why some people are like, oh, you're just reinventing that. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I haven't used No before. I've heard too many weird things about the company itself that it's kind of a turnoff to use the company. But yeah, so here's the pages that they were showing as being identical versus fake. So this is the phishing on the left. You can see the URLs look very similar. I mean, the URLs up top don't even have to be correct. They could just be skinning it in such a way. But I mean, these are pretty damn good. I mean, I couldn't tell the difference. I would have been caught by this too. So I can't really say that is something that, oh, I can't believe somebody fell for that, because I would definitely have fallen for that if that had been the case. I mean, they're getting real good at this. I mean, they take their time, and they're going to score big on some of these things. So, yeah, very few people would notice the slight differences between the two. Oh yeah, here's the. So this is the example that they show. So you click sign in with Microsoft. Fancy looking box comes up. You can even move it around on the screen. This is what I was looking for earlier. So you type the password in. It even has a little area where it looks like you're closing the box. So, but yeah, I mean, it probably all, yeah, like you said, a big block of text pastry. Hovering over links, another easily fooled security safeguard. So they figured out how to make it so that it looks, those URLs look legit, or yeah, it's all the more reason to use MFA. I saw some company today said that they figuratively killed the password. I was trying to find that again, but yeah. Have they got any updates on the Lapsus stuff? I saw this last night on Zero Login. Somebody had said Microsoft potential employee or account has been owned up, compromising Azure DevOps server. Yeah, so they showed the screenshot and then it got retracted. And yeah, so okay, so no change between then and today. So hopefully we'll find out if that was legit or somebody was just throwing up something ugly there. But yeah, last update is under investigation. Yeah, it's still moving along. So troll good or troll bad there, Gondrith. Yeah, pastry, that was from Lapsus, the same ones that hit NVIDIA, Ubisoft, and Samsung. So yeah, their claim to fame. They said maybe they'll mention. Oh, so they've hit Vodafone as well, Mercado Libre, yeah, NVIDIA, Samsung, and Ubisoft. So, and let's see. Announced they're starting to recruit insiders employed within major technology giants and ISPs like Microsoft, Apple, EA Games, and IBM. Their scope of interest includes major telecoms such as Claro, Telefonica, and AT&T. Notably, actors are looking to buy remote VPN access and asking potential insiders to contact them privately via Telegram. Then they pay them. Then they reward them by paying them the access granted. Oof, great. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I hope not. I would hope that people can't be so easily bought. But I mean, we're starting to see potential people. I would hope that controls are in place, and we talk about insider threat as being something that's more of an outlier than anything else, and we have process in place to stop that. But yeah, there are people that would get hired at a company or disgruntled, and they're just there. So they and then you've got people who won't sell their company out anyway, or we've seen examples where people have been tried to be recruited and they failed miserably. So I mean let me see. Okay, so yeah, even looks like as of 10 hours ago, Cyberscoop is also saying Microsoft is investigating. Yeah, so there's better stories than the one that got clicked on right there. So, Kitploit. Oh man, this is a great site. I love this site, Kitploit. Um, if you ever want to find a tool, I don't know how this person does it, but they must scour GitHub like a mofo. Kitploit is, you can get all kinds of stuff from this site, and there's so many tools, and some of them are straight up hacker tools like ransomware simulators, Nuclei, a plugin for Burp Suite, Ghostbuster, eliminate dangling elastic IPs by performing analysis on your AWS account. Some of it's blue team, some of it's red team. AppSec stuff like Burp Suite, enumeration tools for your OC 365. Yeah, I love this site. I always find stuff in my feed that I just makes me want to go and read about it and understand. Another phishing tool, graph visualization for Windows event logs. Ooh. Oh, that is swanky. Look at that. So it looks like what it does is it takes the event, takes the code. Come on, man, make it bigger. Come on. And we'll show you and walk you through like the destination, the host name. That's kind of very cool. What's it? Requires Docker to be installed to even show you how to do installation if you wanted to do that. SID correlation, edge tips, propagation algorithms, page ranks. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff and there's some references here. So if you're interested in finding some new tools, Kitploit is the place you want to go if you want to expand your tool chest. Yeah, so. Oh, let me shrink that up a little bit. There we go. Blink. There we go. All right. Yeah, I mean, and it's not just one or two tools. I mean, they've got tons of stuff. Privilege escalation paths within and across different clouds. Tool designed to aid in bypassing user mode hooks utilized by AV, EPP, and EDRs. Yeah, I'm just so surprised every time I come to this site. So, but yeah, so that was one you can go and take a look at. Yeah, I wanna do some more stuff. Miss Berlin and I had talked before we started the stream about some items that she wanted to do, maybe some lunch and learns. As I said, that normally when I was Triplexity. That is a great site, and that some of those things are very nice. Some of the tools in there are quite nice to build on, and those are definitely some offensive tools that I could definitely see bad guys using as well. So why not let the blue teams use them too? But man, she got me yawning again. I guess it shows I'm not a sociopath, so that's a plus. But so her times that she is trying to get on and stuff is, she had mentioned that some folks were wanting to do some lunch and learns, and yeah, sorry Queen, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so what I would hope to do is, and I can do this too. I do have time during my day if I can do this, and my bosses are somewhat supportive of my security side stuff. So we could do some lunch and learns, talking about attacks and detections and stuff. Yourselves, anybody here, if you have an interesting topic you want to discuss, I don't mind us taking the time to let you do some briefing. I mean, ideally, I'd love to treat this like a place where anybody can come and talk, kind of like those salons back in the day, in the turn of the century, where people come and share ideas, kind of like the Sorbonne used to be, or I think I heard it was like that, where you could come in and do speaking regardless of who you are, and no matter what walk of life you come from. Having the ability to work with work with a number of folks like that. And I think the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think I'm going to probably submit something to B-Side Seattle so I can talk. I mean, people seem to enjoy the streaming, so yeah, 9 miles long. Well, you know where I am. I'll friend you here on Twitch, and you can send me a whisper or something if you've got a topic you'd like to discuss. I mean, our podcast has always been, we don't want rock stars. And let me see, I said that wrong. You get those people that, they do a lot of stuff, but a lot of people who listen to podcasts or they do work. I would say 85% of InfoSec are people who are heads down. Let me see. When I attended DerbyCon, I still had people asking me, "Oh, you have podcasts? I don't listen to podcasts. I don't have time for them." And there are people that are out there that aren't aware of the options that are available for education or okay, damn it, there we go. 10 Pastry, you're a 10x engineer? If you're a 10x engineer, you shouldn't be typing here. You should be saving your keystrokes and your fingers for git commits and stuff like that. Every character you type in this chat window is one less character output that you could, one less ampersand that you could put in, or one less closed parentheses, So, but yeah, we're all about sharing information, no matter who it is doing it, as long as, you're going to teach me something I didn't know. But at the end of this, really, I tend to let butterflies write my code for me. They keep flapping, and eventually I get the code that I want. It does take quite a while to do, but it's completely error free when it writes. So when you get it, it's beautiful. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what that looks like. As we continue to do this and we get people in, there's a glut of. Exactly. That's right. The butterfly effect. Yeah. I tend to use chaos theory. So yeah. But, I don't know what that looks like. If we need to have like a rotating CFP kind of thing where, if you're interested in submitting a talk or coming on here to discuss a segment or something like that, maybe it's worth a Google Doc where I could just set that up and people could come in and put their, I wouldn't make people write a full abstract, but if they wanted to come on and talk about something, we could definitely do that. Kind of like a always on conference kind of thing, Hello again, Binary Rip. Welcome back. Miss Berlin had to leave. She stayed up late for a Tool concert and got a little tired, and so we let her go. And Mr. Betcher, of course, dodging tornadoes. So, yeah. So, I've been talking to folks like Mick Douglas, Better Safety Net. He's been putting out a lot of Twitter feeds, Twitter threads and stuff on various takes that I happen to agree with him quite a bit on. And he's just a perennially good guest. Every time we have him on, it's just, I learn so much from him, not just because of PowerShell or just pretty much defense, but, he owns a company. He works with a lot of, companies on the front lines of being, infected with malware and things like that, having to deal with those things, we've been trying, we're working with other organizations like Black Girls Hack. I want to get, maybe some study groups set up for CISSPs. If you're interested in getting those, that cert, I've taught a couple of classes on that in the past, when the domains are now 8 domains, not 10. So it makes it a little bit easier. But I've taught, a quarter of those classes. It's not hard to do. We could just sit down here and have books club and study and learn those things. We're going through the Try Hack Me stuff on a semi-regular basis. I've been doing some of those on a regular basis. I'd like to thank Queen, of course, for joining us for those. Queen's a trooper, hanging out with us, running through some of those things. some of it's probably laughing at me for not laughing at me, laughing with me, because I'm laughing inside, crying on the outside. But yeah, I mean we're always just about learning and teaching, and I'm out of practice with even on the junior pen tester stuff, so I'm learning as I go too. So if you're interested in doing anything or you have ideas, that's what we're here for. We're not tied to any one dogma here. If you like reverse engineering stuff, talk to me and we'll set up some things where you could walk people through some quick, understandings on how to use Ghidra, or, maybe you want to run us through some under the wire stuff, or I'm sorry, over the wire stuff. Under the wire is the PowerShell stuff. So it's a binary rip. In terms of reverse engineering and in terms of knowing it, I would say I know it. I know enough to I know enough to know that it's hard for me, at least. I do know people far smarter than me that dream in ELF, and I am a technical project manager now, but I'm going through and teaching, so a lot of the times I'm learning just as I'm going along as well, binary. But we're doing a lot of the junior pen tester stuff that we're doing on TryHackMe is pretty much web app pen testing. I mean, so far we've gone through IDOR, file inclusions. Cross-site scripting is coming up next, server-side request forgery. So a lot of it is what I would consider to be web pen testing, not necessarily AppSec or whatever. But I'm up for some reverse engineering. There's numerous videos online. There's numerous, let me see, what is it? Malware Unicorn has an excellent reverse malware unicorn. Her 101 and 102 classes are probably some of the best out there. I'm sure she charges for them now, but those are pretty good. Yeah, so I mean, you can go through Malware Unicorn stuff. She has a 201 class as well. Oh yeah, here's the workshops. There you go. Yeah, reverse engineering 101, 102, looking at simple encryption routines, evasion techniques, and packing. So 9 miles long. Currently, I'm recording those. You can actually, if you want to, you can look at the previous videos if you'd like. You can, I think, follow and subscribe or something, and that'll give you access to all the videos up to date. It's pretty much just me running through them while everybody else kind of watches. But I go through various exercises. I think this last week's cast, I was finishing up some of the labs for file inclusion stuff. I can talk to AJ and see about seeing about adding more people to our Zoom chat. I have no problem with that. It's just, he's only available on Saturdays because of his work schedule. Or Saturdays or Sundays. So if we have AJ on, it'll be on the weekends. But if you're in a friendly time zone, I don't know what time zone you're in, not 9 miles long, but I'm in Pacific time zone, and I tend to do my hour-and-a-half sessions around 3:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon to 5-ish. So we try to go through one section. And if that's something you'd like to do, we can definitely make that happen. We do have the schedules online there. I've got the schedule on the Twitch page there. If you are an Amazon Prime member, you have a Prime subscription you could give us. That would give you access to all of those videos. And I have about 35 hours worth of stuff now. Including 5 hours of conference that we did for Sunflower Con. But oh, that's Kit Ployd again. PE injection studies. I mean, some of the stuff is, Malware Unicorn's got some excellent discussions here. She's even got some write-ups from the 12 challenges for the CTFs anti-analysis techniques. Oh, it looks like it's been disabled, but it's coming soon. So I don't know when she created that. So, oh, cool. Okay, 9 miles. I normally announce it on Twitter on BrakeSec on the Twitch just before we go live. And I tend to retweet it on CSEC East, and we also do our CSEC East meetups on here. So if anybody's interested in doing that, but I mean, there's a ton of stuff, and what I'm trying to do is just make sure that everybody is available and wants to learn and join that and enjoy being in a learning environment and maybe upskilling or maybe just trying to advertise their skills or retool in many cases. So, look at here. Bridgestone hit as a ransomware torches Toyota supply chain. Yeah, I heard about that. Toyota got hit last month, and looks like subsidiary experienced a ransomware attack in February, prompting it to shut down computer network and production at its factories in North and Middle America for about a week. Okay. Oh, really? 9 miles. So my LinkedIn post actually went somewhere. Okay. I actually didn't know if LinkedIn just kind of black holes all that stuff down into nothingness, and it just goes into whatever singularity they have there. Cool. I'm glad that worked. I'll definitely have to make sure that I advertise it more on LinkedIn from now on. Probably use the right hashtags that people are picking up on. So I'll make sure that I do that if everybody is enjoying that. So let me see. Yeah, 11 days earlier, Toyota supplier Denso fell victim to its own ransomware attack. Manufacturers like Toyota, already hampered by supply chain shortages, are proving to be particularly attractive targets for ransomware groups. Yow. Spokesperson at Toyota supplier Kojima Industries Corp said it had apparently been hit by some kind of cyber. Yeah, Triplexity. We were, I think we talked about the Microsoft thing, but yeah, Nvidia, Ubisoft, and Samsung were all supposedly hit by. I wonder what they were vulnerable to, because it seems like it has to be something exposed to the internet. I'm wondering if Log4j, maybe they haven't patched all their Log4j stuff potentially. It's the only thing I could think of that would be all over the place. Okay. Cool, 9 miles. Okay. Yeah, we'll be having our monthly meetup again in looks like April 6th is the next Wednesday meetup. I actually thought about maybe doing it in person up here in Seattle, but I wasn't sure if everybody was ready for that yet. If I do it, it would be like someplace like Lunchbox Lab or Black Lodge or something like that. So, I haven't seen anything come out of the issue with that guy who made his NPM package like wiping things. Yeah. Yeah, this thing. I talked about it earlier this week. Brandon Nozaki Miller, of course. Really binary. An Okta. Where are you seeing that at? Binary rip. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, bind. I mean, yeah, bind is trash. Oh, okay. So you're all right. Okay. Well, Lapsus is riding a high right now, so maybe you can't always take for face value everything that they're doing. I mean, a lot of organizations like to take credit for a lot of things, but I mean, if you're seeing it on their Telegram group, that may be a little more legitimate. So, so let me ask a question to the group in here, to the viewers that are watching. We're seeing I wouldn't say more and more, but we're seeing where the supply chain is at its most fragile, right? Whether it be you having dependency hell where you've got thousands of packages and you're just not able to keep up with those and manage, getting updates done properly, to, a developer deciding, screw it, I'm going to sell this to a company that's going to then, embed it full of malware or adware or what have you. Or you have this new thing, which is now being called protestware. And this person who has a very popular package called Node IPC. Apparently, it's not the first time that the NPM ecosystem has had issues. For companies that want to control their supply chain, how do you do that when you are using stuff like this and have no control over what the developer is doing? Okay. One second, y'all. Just making this happen. Do. Now, Mr. Rip, I can't guarantee that people didn't already see those on the chat, but they are deleted. So, question still stands. You can't control Brandon, the Node IPC developer. And now we have to worry about rogue developers trashing popular patches or packages, in the name of whatever, because now this has opened a very dangerous door for people using Node. I mean, what if, this could have easily have been Brandon attacking US-based companies. Maybe the US wasn't doing enough to support Ukraine. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this dependency, which is going to wipe a bunch of code off of every developer in the United States and other Western countries because they're not doing enough for Ukraine. Instead of on Russia and Belarus, which, everybody's like, oh, yay, great, whatever. This could have easily been turned on the US or any company or country that Brandon does not agree with. So he's riding high right now. What do you say to your boss when you're like, well, we use 5,000 dependencies, in our application, and any one of those 5,000 could be protestwared tomorrow, and God knows what could happen to our environment. What do you do? And I put that out to our stream chat here. I mean, what do you do in that case if you have to control the supply chain? What are your options? Bum, 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 bum. Or maybe you are a developer on the stream here, and so what do you do? Do you just continue working as normal, assuming, well, this is something that's not going to happen to me? I mean, as a developer or an open source advocate, if you enjoy open source, what does it say when you have a rogue developer who decides they want to do what they want with their code because they own their code, right? I worry about these things when I'm out walking or something. And, this isn't the first company I've worked for that is trying to get a handle on their dependencies. And I know that there's things like being able to tag versions, like keeping track of versions, storing your own dependencies internally to... Okay, Binary Rip, that is right. I'll let you finish your thought there, Binary. Well, I'll finish my thought there, Binary. So you said when ransomware hits, there's a chance we can recover your files. That is true. Now there were some rumors that there was an NGO that was using his package on some application and it wiped their servers. It's a bit apocryphal. I haven't seen anything saying that actually happened. Oh yeah, no worries. Take your time. I'm sorry. Yeah, please take your time. And but so I had seen that somebody had said there was an NGO or a non-governmental organization trying to help people in in Ukraine. There was something wrong with the IP addressing scheme, and it wiped their systems. Now, I have not seen anything to corroborate that or to know if that's actually true or not. If it did happen, they're keeping it under wraps. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, every package you use is now a rogue element. How can you trust your own supply chain or the applications that are being used in your environment? What does it look like to deal with that kind of risk? Okay, Triplexity, you can't, and that's very true. But I mean, so what keeps somebody else from doing what Brandon just did? And if that's the case, I'm going to ask the question not in a FUD way, but what does it say about the future of open source if we can't control, or we can't hope that we can trust, I mean, already it's a tenuous balance, right? I mean, and these days I don't even know what trust is, because you've got people throwing out like crypto and NFTs and, oh yeah, you can trust me because I'm somewhat legit person on the Twitters. And it's like, okay, yeah, great. Let's buy into their crypto schemes or whatever. I trust Brandon as far as good point, binary rip. Don't trust everything on the internet. A lot of companies trust that the code that they download is legit. Some developers blindly just, add packages that allow them to make loops. My worry is that if more developers start doing this kind of thing, that it will. I have conditionally opened the links. Go ahead, Binary. I'm not aware of what's stopping anyone from going rogue, right? With it being open source, we can copy source to our own repos and then hire a dev to fork your own, but it's a never-ending loop. Your dev could do the same thing. 100%. Binary, I'm going to trust you, and I'm going to click on a link. How to get hacked by accidentally copy pasting. This is why you should never copy paste commands directly into your terminal. Okay. Ask any developer or admin if they have ever copied a command or code snippet from the web. The answer would be yes. You're absolutely, yeah. I mean, and anybody who says no is lying. So right, Triplexity, laws and regulations wouldn't stop it, but it would deter some people. Yes. The insider threat, I mean, there are agreements, there are, potential costs involved of doing something bad there. And, instead of trying to find a software solution to it, you can easily do a process solution to that. But, So let me use an extreme example. Linus Torvalds, creator of the Linux kernel back in the day. Let's say he didn't like the Iraq War, the second one in 2003. So Linux is starting to become ubiquitous. Companies are using it in the cloud, and he's just unhappy in 2002 with what Western countries did in Iraq. I'm not being political here. I'm just, we did in fact go into Iraq and bomb the shit out of it again in 2002. I was in the Navy when that happened. That's why I remember it. It happened on my birthday. Let's say he, didn't like the idea of that and just decided to put something in the Linux kernel that would brick every machine running it at the time. what would have happened to Linux at that point? You know, now it's like, you know, there's so many damn packages that you, I mean, you know, I think that is pretty much shut down. Great. Okay, so let me start that up again. Well, you lost me, but you know, I think is. Oh, that was really weird. Okay. Well, hopefully I'm back. So I don't think my audio died, but yeah. Let me tell you what. Zoom is something. Transform horizontal. There we go. Yeah, audio was fine. Yeah, for some reason Zoom decided to die after 45 minutes or so. There we go. Now I'm pointing and I'm looking at the screen. You know, what do we tell our management when they ask us, "Hey, I just heard about this guy who decided to sabotage his own software. What are we doing to make sure that we're safe?" What are we going to do? We can't do anything, right? There's absolutely nothing we can do if we're a heavy node user to protect ourselves. I mean, we can pin the latest versions, but that doesn't mean the developers are actually using those versions. They can still put in a URL directly to the GitHub because, oh, maybe this specific flavor is causing issues. What do you tell your management? Yeah, sorry, yeah, they could own us tomorrow. We can't really do anything about it. Oh, yeah, we could stop using Node.js. Yeah, we could stop using any, pluggable framework for web application development. And they're going to laugh, the director of engineering will laugh at you, and management, I mean, there's no way to stop this. And if we get more Brandons out there that are, deciding, hey, I'm not feeling too happy today about making only $100,000 while Amazon makes millions off of my software, I'm just going to blow them up. Well, triplexity, that's not even a mitigation. Disaster recovery means shit's already happened. Now you're in reactive mode, right? Mitigation would be fixing it before it happens, right? Or reducing the chances of it occurring in the first place. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but like somebody else said, you could fork that version, but now you're maintaining 5,000 versions. So, I mean, are we going to require people to stop using code? Are we going to have to, it's a complex question. I know we're not going to be able to solve it here, but these are the kinds of things that keep me up at night, or make me think when I'm on, as the security guy for a product, that is pushed out by a company. It's like, these are things I got to worry about because my developers and my engineer folks are. Okay, so Triplexity says third-party service AI that scans commits for malicious code and freezes commits if it scores above an X. That would be good. That would be good. So there was nothing inherently wrong with his code, right? Everything worked as expected. All he did was make his peace not war module he made this peace not war module as a subdependency of node IPC. So both of these work as intended, and a scan would not necessarily find anything wrong. There's nothing malicious there, right? I mean, unless you had it look for like deletion commands or, but this would be like if IP equals Belarus, then, RM-RF. Yeah, see, but with the third party, usually you're going to be in some kind of contract, I would imagine, for that, right? You said hope the third party doesn't screw you. I would argue and hope that it's, if you're employing a third party, that third party is being paid and has a contract to be, in your best interest, you need to fix that, or you need to, you need to scan your stuff. And I'm not talking like, Coverity or what have you. I just worry about what we consider trust anymore, Sure. And I mean, yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, I mean, you're correct. There are so many different ways people could go rogue on things, or taking payment. I would hope you're not picking a third party that their name is like Joe Bob Billy's Code Audit Service or something like that. You would actually use a decent company and actually pay for a good code audit service. Or have a subcontractor who will work with you, and you can hold their feet to the fire if one of their employees go rogue or something like that. But yeah, I just worry that is a big worry for me, from especially with, and I would hope that any large development organization is also thinking these same things, or at least their security teams are. What does the supply chain look like when you now have 5,000 rogue agents potentially? Especially if you use a Node IPC, what the hell do you do now? I mean, we need application insurance. Ooh, Perplexity. I don't know about that. I mean, think about it. I mean, we're already seeing insurance companies, pulling the due diligence card on companies when they get breached. Were you actually putting in security controls that would have kept you from getting breached? No, how does the application, how does application security work in, we just grab shit randomly from the internet and put it in our code. What's the problem? I don't see a problem with this. We're just going to randomly, have it automatically go out and pull things, and we're just going to assume everything is all right. What? Insurance companies aren't going to like that. They're not going to want that risk. That's 5,000, I'm using round number, but let's say you use 5,000 dependencies. That's 5,000 potential risks right there. And they're going to be like, something's got to change. And I hope that this is a one-off, and that other developers are like, whoa, okay, we need to do better. Because I've seen and heard stuff like, code signing, which developers, especially open source developers, don't want to do, because setting up massive, signing infrastructure would be a pain in the ass. And it won't really solve the rogue issue. But yeah, I will be interested to see if anybody else tries to pull a Brandon with this re-evangelist here and does some poking around there. So I think we did a podcast, Adam Baldwin, when he worked at NPM as the security guy. Yeah, I mean, we've seen at least two in the last year, right? In January it was Color and Faker, and now it's this guy. So, yeah. Of course, Color and Faker, that person had more issues. There seemed to be some mental health issues, I believe, as well, and some bomb-making materials found in his apartment. So, but yeah, I mean, this is just things that I think about. It's makes me it's not scary, but it's like there's no good answer for these. There's just no good answer for somebody who's, trying to burn down the world, if you will. So, but it definitely crossed a line. I don't know of any, I haven't been on any, I probably should go check some of the links. All right, Binary Rip, have a good day. Yeah. See you later. Thanks for the insights. I appreciate that. So, oh my goodness. Okay. I've managed to carry on past the time that I expected. So, yeah, I thank everybody for coming on tonight. Miss Berlin, of course, had to leave us a little early, but given her lack of sleep, I'm more than willing to excuse that, and I'll let everybody know how Mr. Betcher made out tomorrow. And let me see who was the one who wanted to. 9 Mile. 9 Mile. If you're still on, we should be on tomorrow about 3:30 to do some Try Hack Me stuff. If you're still interested in doing that, I'll start on the server side request forgery stuff. I don't know how far we'll get into that, but you'll see me mashing some keyboards if something goes wrong, or but it'll be helpful if you're there to help talk me through and talk me down off the ledge, if you will. And yeah, no problem, Perplexity. Thank you for doing that. So to make sure that everybody is aware, we are on Twitter. I'm at Brian Brake, BryanBrake. Mr. Betcher is at Betcherpwned, BoeTTCHERPWNED. You should also go check out log-md.com. He is the sole developer of that. It is a forensics tool that helps configure Windows logging systems, which is why him and Miss Berlin get along so well. He helps configure the machines that help her get the logs in a roundabout way. But if you're looking to set up logging on your Windows boxes properly, LogMD will help you do that. Also, malwarearchaeology.com. I think that's right, malwarearchaeology.com. Windows logging cheat sheets and stuff. Michael Goff, Hacker Hurricane is involved with LogMD. And the Windows logging cheat sheets and other items are over there on that website if you want to go check those out. So, yeah, I'm done for this week. This may or may not be the full podcast. I don't know what that's going to look like anymore. I'd hate to put out a 30-minute podcast of a 2-hour stream and go, hey, if you want to, go find that. But we're trying to find that happy medium for folks who still want to use the audio podcast. So, yeah, so I'm Brian. Hope everyone has a great week. I'll be on tomorrow night, like I said, doing some THM stuff, try hack me stuff. I'd like everybody to be safe, stay kind to one, and be kind to one another, and take care of yourselves because you're the only you have. And everyone have a good night.